obviously you seemed not very happy over there then. Care to elaborate?
It's spirited play that crosses lines. And again, I'd rather coach a team back than forward. This team is, especially in the O-line and D-line, we're playing with edge. And when you play with edge, there's potential for emotions to get the better of us. And I thought we had a pretty good day, honestly, with that. At the end, we crossed lines. And for me, in the moment, it's both teaching the response as a mechanism of winning football, to not go across the lines so that we're not drawing penalties, so that we can allow the opponent's lack of discipline to be an advantage for us. It's also about de-escalation to me. Like, we're going hard at each other. We want to practice a certain way, a certain style. We have to get better. But in the moment where the temperature's rising, we need to be able to listen to our leadership, de-escalate, and continue without any issues. And that was the last play of practice, no matter what. But it was just an opportunity to address those things.
How would you say the edge of this team compares to your first two?
Well, I think we're deepening in our identity, and that means our edges are a little sharper. I mean, and that's not negative towards anything that was before. It's just the nature of being 1 year further along, and in a process where we're paying attention to our competitive personality. And I also think just the guys that have been here with us now for 3 years, it's on their hearts to go out and achieve something together, and so they're fighting for it every single day. And again, I think the tone is set for us in our offensive line and defensive line, and got a ton of respect for how those guys have approached their work.
How do you discipline in a spot like that? Is there consequences for someone that does something that would get a flag in a game, or is that just you talk to them and you come to an understanding, or is that just something you keep private?
Well, no, I think we address those. To me, it's just lapses in discipline. And again, we've had this in our time here together, where that's bled into the field. How you train is how you play. So for us, it's recognizing the emotion that triggered the response or the reaction. It's building in awareness and buffer to where we can respond with purpose and intention rather than just react emotionally. Those are all conversational. You know, obviously I spoke to the group and I addressed the individuals directly. You know, if we got to a point where we weren't able to practice because this stuff was coming up, then obviously we would have to have people held out of practice. But ultimately it's about training, it's about learning. Today we just faltered at the end there. And again, I think that has nothing to do. It was a beautiful day. It wasn't heat. It wasn't, tired. It was two guys on the edge and just kind of actions escalated. But you have to earn the right to train. And if we weren't able to get through because someone's wasn't able to control their emotions, then we would hold them out of training.
Coach, referees were here today. Didn't see a ton of mistakes in terms of flags thrown. What did you think about the mistakes today?
Well, we had a couple procedural penalties. We had two on offense for sure. One on defense that was costly, and the officials give us the opportunity to see those in real time. We had a substitution issue on offense, so they're there. You would expect that on practice 5. So we got to clean up our process, but the officials help us learn that now rather than August 26th. So on the whole, I feel like we are getting cleaner, and obviously as you go deeper into camp, there's more so there's more to execute.
Who are your captains and leadership council this year?
Well, right now we have 2 captains named, Ethan and Jalen Mahoney. And then, we have they're a part of a 10-man team leadership group who you guys have spoken with, up to this point in practice. I think you got the two left here, and that'll be the 10. We'll have another captain vote on the back end of camp, and so we'll add to that too. But really, those 10 guys are going to be central to our journey as a team, and guys I'll lean on for that player leadership throughout the season.
Back to discipline, that when I'm watching you guys go through drills and practice in what's been really bad heat at times, I'm not seeing a lot of hands on hips or sloppy mistakes. Is that how you size it up?
That's our culture. That's what we ask of each other. And, from our perspective, it can always improve. So we have to, again, deepen our commitment to our identity. Identity is not something that'll show up for us on Saturday. It's something we have to commit to every day. And the further we go in that commitment, the sharper our edges will be by the time we're playing. And that's, when that identity is sharp, you have a chance to pierce the outer shell of your opponent and get to the soft center. And it just, we have to understand that is our formula. And certainly, again, this team is further along because of the work that Team 1 and Team 2 did.
Do you have any updates on Grayson Morgan and Mahoney?
Mahoney's soft tissue, and so it'll just be a matter of, again, giving enough time to heal for him to return. I don't expect that to be long, but also with those, you never want to place a date on it. Grayson, I think, did a little work today. I would expect him to be kind of gradually working his way back. Mahoney will be a little longer. Grayson could be available to scrimmage. I guess we're going to see how it responds over the next couple of days.
What do you think of Leighton Nelson's camp so far?
He's grown a ton. I mean, we're excited about Leighton. We knew that he, in the spring, that he was stepping into higher levels of performance. He's continued that. I see confidence in him. I see a comfort in a good way where he's settled kind of into the team and Coach Blazik and the role within the team. And so he's got to keep coming, but he's a talented young player that's big and physical and athletic. And so, it's been exciting to watch him continue his progress.
I feel like it was interesting today when the ball was in the air. You had the offense making a lot of plays. You had the defense make some too. How did you size it? Maybe which side won when the ball was in the air today?
Well, there was back and forth, and when we have a good practice, you want to see that back and forth. There are times obviously I'm always going to be a little biased towards the defense. There's times when late in the rush we're protecting the cylinder, and so we're not impacting the throw down the field. And I think we've done a nice job of that, getting the ball off. But we got to make sure that we're firm in protection through the entirety of the down. I think early in camp the offense was ahead. I think in the last couple of days the defense is battling back. And again, our formula is not to allow the explosive touchdown that happened today a couple of times. That's a testament to the skill we're developing on offense, the play of the quarterback, the protection of the offensive line. But we have to have someone in position to cap those to make the offense go the long, hard way. That's kind of our philosophy and our mindset. And so we'll have to correct the structural issues there. But on the whole, I think we're getting to a balance point where we're, in a good competitive mode.
Can you just speak to how good of a camp Will Shepherd has had, especially today?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's stepped into another level of training for us, and I'm proud of him. I mean, I see a lot of growth and maturity. Of course, he's battled injuries, and so he's always been tough, and he's always had an attitude of, a competitive attitude that we love. But what I see is just he's in the grind every day. And I think he and BJ Anderson are going hard at each other, and they're learning about themselves and they're growing. But Will I think has had a really nice camp, and I'm excited to see him continue that growth moving forward. It's an example of someone who's growing late in his career.
Coach, how would you assess the tight end room as you stand right now?
Pleased with JB. I think he's really shown some positive growth both in the pass game and in the run game. And from there, we have Logan, who I'm excited to watch scrimmage. I think he's flashed. I think he's shown a willingness to be physical. Chris has been a nice addition where he's come in and he's still learning, but he's been able to show up and take some quality reps for us. And then our two young players, two freshmen, Cam and JP, both have flashed at times. JP's going to be nursing a little bit of a back spasm here. Thought Cam had some nice snaps today. I know he had a procedural penalty, but we have big aspirations for those two guys. I think growing them in that tight end room, and Cole Spence is a part of that too, where he needs to mentor and grow them. And then I would be not true to myself if I didn't mention Gabe Fisher, because who doesn't love a fullback from NBA? So no, Gabe is also just been such a soldier and a warrior with us, so we're happy to have him. I think it's a great room from a personality and a culture standpoint. I think they're sharpening the axe, and excited to see where they go.